sometimes off the cuff, like I'm great, I feel comfortable, and then sometimes I'm just like, oh no, like what did I say the best thing or so. I am the debut author of a book called A Comb of Wishes, which is a middle grade fantasy. Um, it is about a 12-year-old girl who finds a mermaid's comb and makes a wish that she could have her mom come back. And so there's a lot of magic and mystery. Um, Outside of being a writer, I'm also a middle school teacher. I'm an English teacher and I have taught fifth and sixth grade English for a lot of years. So I love hanging around school and reading lots of books and talking with students about all of that. And I'm also a mom, and I have two really bossy cats. I have always loved to read and write. When I was a student in school, I felt like my favorite thing to write were descriptions. So I would love it anytime our teacher asked us to write, description of, the trees outside or something that we were observing. It was a lot of fun. I really also love to write stories. So I was a pretty voracious reader and would read all sorts of books. And so if I got to write a story about something, that was a lot of fun. One of my favorite things that I did was when I was in high school, I took a class that allowed us to write short stories. And so that was kind of a chance to do something I really enjoyed in school. One of the really fun experiences I had writing was doing NaNoWriMo, which stands for National Novel Writing Month. And I've actually done it about 8 times now. And to win NaNoWriMo, you have to write for an adult 50,000 words in 30 days. And I've managed to win it twice. So that was a really big accomplishment that I was proud of. But the fun part of it was that, I gave myself a challenge, kind of a little bit of a hard challenge, but I knew that other people were writing with me. So sometimes I actually write with my students in the classroom and they do a version of NaNoWriMo. So all of us there writing and reading each other on has been like one of the most fun writing experiences that I've had. The first bit of advice that I would give to a young writer would be to read lots of books. Read, whatever you're interested in, because the more words you put into your head, the more you can play with them and put them on paper and express yourself with lots of different ideas. Um, the second thing is to just start writing and not really put any judgments on yourself about whether it's good or bad, but just to do what feels fun and exciting. And then, look for people who share the same interests as you. Maybe share your work. Sometimes my students like to make a Google Doc and write stories with a friend or just comment on what they've written. And so those three things I think would be really a fun way of getting started writing. You can find out more about me on my website, lisastringfellow.com. Also, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and you could read more about A Comb of Wishes and mermaids and Black Girl Magic.